What is good, YouTube? We are back. We're actually going to get into something. So, a while back, y'all may know I'm into Monster Hunter, but it was this, it was this blindfolded speed run or blindfold kill of a Latrion, and this girl basically wanted to get the attention of Asmongold, and man, they like Karl destroyed her. Like Karl absolutely picked apart everything. Turns out that she had her blind. She could see through her blindfold the first run, so she issued another challenge. And yeah, it was crazy. But we about to get into this and look and see because there's another video that I didn't know. I didn't know Karl did it. It was like posted like 6 days ago. But we're gonna get into it.
Hello, you absolute legends. Last month, the streamer known as Queen Pwnzalot
That's her.
pretended to beat the dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold.
This from the first run.
This garnered her quite a lot of attention. But when
this
people
from the first run that
experienced
she
with the
did.
game she was playing and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately it was fake. Unfortunately, Queen Pwnzalot's effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor.
I hope y'all
Not
can't
only
hear
was
that
she using
airplane.
strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin and obviously fake, even we, the viewers, could see straight through it. Soon enough, people were
Definitely
making
did.
videos calling out her fake run, and Queen Pwnzalot was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out, the public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout. After receiving
So if you don't know, if you don't play Monster Hunter, monsters have sound cues that you know that they'll do before they attack. Latrion's head swipe does not have a sound cue. He kind of has a sound cue with other things, but a head swipe does not have a sound cue. And there, like, she does a lot of really suspect things in the first video, and you just like, how did you do that? It's crazy.
backlash, Queen Pwnzalot fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the dragon Alatreon, but this time
That was the weird part about it. She did a whole trailer, like a teaser trailer for her second run, and it's crazy that she like tripling down on the cheating. It's crazy.
with more proof. On the 14th of February, she went live, and she was stacked to the gills with ironclad anti-cheat measurements. This time she wore a genuine blindfold. She had a hand cam, she had input display, she had paper covering up her monitors, and she was live. Surely there was absolutely no way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Altreon blindfold kill was actually real. It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Pwnzalot was just more gifted
She fooled
than everyone
Asmongold
else,
really good.
and she could really do
She got
things
Asmongold
blindfolded
really
that
good.
no one else could. Or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know two things. One, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And two, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners.
The thing is, I don't get it about her keeping her camera centered. Like you can't factually do that blindfolded. I've tried that many of times. Like even many a times after seeing her first one, and I'm like, I cannot keep the camera centered, and she just really does it. And the only way you could do it, really and truly, is by using lock on, which she does not do. Like it just gives it away every time. It's like just stop cheating. Like just admit that you're trying to farm views or clout for your channel.
I was committed to finding out how this was done. I envisioned sophisticated cheating methods that would be impossible to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Pwnzalot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily. For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to clarify game mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software, but I was getting nowhere. And then, after 72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Pwnzalot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within 20 minutes of seeing Queen Pwnzalot do this one thing, we knew exactly how she did it, and we had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it. But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Pwnzalot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the dragon Alatreon. And I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many things she did to try and fool you. I really hope you enjoy. Legends, let's be honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd. I'm a huge nerd. You're a huge nerd.
You don't have to
That's
say it
just
again.
the way it is. And as nerds, there is nothing more important or fulfilling than having a really good gaming PC, which is why you should invest in a PC from today's sponsor, Starforge Systems.
Okay.
Starforge makes things super easy, especially for people like me who don't know how or just don't want to build their own PC.
I think
they offer
Asmongold-
amazing pre-built PCs at all different
Asmongold
price points.
sponsors this,
So if you go
or
in with a certain budget, you know you're going to get
they
the best you
sponsor
can
Asmongold,
for your money.
but they
Starforge
look like
PCs
really good
are used
PCs.
by tons of your favorite creators, including
look at
myself.
Charlie.
They are built
Oh,
by hand
Asmongold
in
up there
Austin,
too.
Texas by experienced builders. They look beautiful and they run smoothly. Plus, they are reliable, coming with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. I rely on my PC for absolutely everything, including this YouTube channel. My standards are extremely high. I need something powerful and I need something quiet. And the PC I got from Starforge Systems was literally everything I could have asked for. Please get yourself a PC you deserve. The link to Starforge Systems will be in the description. Go and check out their PCs today.
I'm definitely going to look into that.
In my previous video, we looked at Queen Pwnzalot's earlier blindfolded runs, where she used...
This is the thing. Look how many times she killed Alatreon. 4,193 times. You have killed this dragon 4,193 times. I've killed Alatreon a total of 8 or 9 times. Because there's no use of killing it that many, like that much. But I don't understand why you would cheat a speed run or a blindfolded run to fool people. Like, if you needed channel growth, because she is a small channel, like if you wanted channel growth, I said the best way to go about it was to actually just like host runs and help people, because world
used
was
a really
getting more
thin,
popular. Just host
transparent sheet
runs
of material
to
to
get
cover
people
her eyes
to
and
kill.
pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake. As far as her gameplay was concerned, it's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claims to use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years of blindfolded competition tells us that this is impossible. I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you are looking up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again, and in some cases, it's even worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up the camera, and then immediately and perfectly fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is
See?
quite
That's
literally
the weird
no
part
audio
about it.
cue, like in this example. Beyond the impossible vertical movement, we also see crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable. I mean, just look at this gameplay. In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious.
That
and
is
remember,
impossible.
looking up does nothing.
That is
it doesn't let her hit
impossible.
any higher. So there is
Literally, looking at a monster, the only thing you need to look at the monster really, if you're playing, is to have your character. not even a camera. You just have to have your character's body in the direction of the monster where you want to swing, because the camera in Monster Hunter is not does not dictate where you're going to swing at. You don't swing higher, you don't swing lower or anything like that. It's basically set moves, and wherever your character is looking at, basically body wise position, that's where you're going to hit at. So like she get it like really and truly. There's so many things.
Literally no point in doing this other than to see the head, which makes no sense if you're blindfolded. All of this seems very confusing because she appears to be wearing a proper blindfold, and as I mentioned before, her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that she can't see them anyway. This led me to consider other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon. This would solve the problem of locating the dragon and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems, like being able to dodge attacks that don't have sound cues. In one instance, she accidentally hooks onto Alatreon's leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no audible difference between hooking onto the leg.
That is sus as fuck. There is no audio indication of clutch claw. Absolutely none. You get no audio indication of where you're clutching at on with a clutch claw. That is very sus. Now I could see if she was trying to get a clagger stun, and she thought that she claggered Alatreon and to get more time during a stun. Like, okay, yeah, that like, oh yeah, okay, I can see why she thought she claggered it, but nah.
Egg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this,
Like she just stood right there. Like she literally stood right there and didn't do anything. Now, if you thought you claggered, you might go for like a sharpen or a use of an item or something like that. Or there's something that you'll do, but she literally just stood right there. That is so sus.
I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord. With someone in her ear and some aim assist software, you might be able to play like this without sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World expert TSC, who actually developed the
That boy said Monster Hunter Exploiter.
first known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she
Jeez,
was
that
using an
aimbot was
aimbot to
crazy.
achieve this effect, it would require software far more sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most common theory I saw online was that she was using pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe she
That's what I thought first. That's exactly what I thought at first, that she was like she already killed it. Oh dang, her kills are at 4,600 now from the first time that she did it. Jesus Christ, all she does is fight Alatreon. But I thought she already killed it and was like doing a fake run, but nah.
beat Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before. I even made a video about a speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon.
There was also a Mario 64 speedrunner that did that. I watched a lot of speed runs of different games just to see how people exploit the game, but I ain't never seen this Metal Gear Rising one. I've never played Metal Gear Rising, but I'll watch it. But I watch a lot of Dark Souls and different speed runs, and there was like a Mario 64. It's like really infamous, the Mario 64 cheater.
However, I didn't believe this was the case. Queen Pwnzalot had two cameras and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game.
Yep.
And so did her keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity was very high, so a lot of movements are hard to see, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It did appear as though she was actually playing. In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her, perhaps by using remote assistance. This is an idea that the YouTuber Abisoft spent some time investigating to see if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it. But this is extremely unlikely.
Hold up, what did that guy say? Where was it? Oh, there we go. As a magician, I can immediately tell you that the extra real blindfold she uses is one of the fonts used for magic tricks. They're usually oversized as hell and have the capability to appear both opaque and transparent to the wearer. Edit. After looking for way too long, I can't find the blindfold I was thinking of online, and it could be entirely possible that it was pre-recorded gameplay as well. Although anyone who knows about the mentalism tricks knows that there are a billion ways to fake a blindfold, so it's still a possibility until proven otherwise. My initial judgment was most likely wrong, though. Okay.
Magician's blindfold and she could see through it. But this is extremely unlikely. Her blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and trust me, we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Pwnzalot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it. What is on the screen?
It's Monster Hunter.
And what is on the thing? Is Monster Hunter on her screen?
Yeah.
And then watch what happens. She puts it back down to cover. She's quickly trying to hide it. And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something to do with how she was faking her gameplay? At seemingly random times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tap her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game. Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again. This is bizarre, and she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it.
How
she
does
acts
she
as
know?
if this really
How
weird
did she
thing
know?
that she is doing isn't.
How did she know that she was standing still? I think no, hold on. I think there's footstep audio. She probably caught it from that. It might be footstep audio. I never really paid attention to it, but it might be, or the sound of like your weapon, like clinging.
Happening, which is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
We needed to fix the Toby.
I think this tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts, but an important question to ask is how did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre. In the end...
Yeah, she acting like that's just natural, like that's just something that happens. That's so weird.
However, after discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant red herring.
It might be somebody in her ear. I don't know.
After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then, in the middle of the night, I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Pwnzalot did that was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something, and this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I needed.
If you're holding your mouse button down for 10 seconds, you're either activating a cheat or 9 times out of 10, you're clicking on something. And I seen like some movement. It looks like she dragged something to the left screen or something like that.
to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was in fact a third hidden monitor.
Well, I was wrong. I thought she was cheating. A third monitor is so possible. But how did she cheat, though? I mean, she could have a third monitor, but how did she cheat? Because Monster Hunter was on her main, like, the run is in front of her where she was looking at, so.
Queen Pwnzalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor because, yeah.
Having 3 monitors is wild. Honestly, most people only have 2. I only have 1 monitor, but most people, I'm gonna get another monitor, but most people only have 2 monitors. Having 3 is just wild.
There's the other one. So you guys know. There it is. With all my other stuff on it.
Oh no, you trying to
This
really
is a lie. In truth,
trying to
she
really
has a
make sure
third
people
monitor
know.
to her right, off camera.
Yeah, they
Before she
got 3
covers it with
monitors, 2
paper, we
monitors.
can see that her
Oh,
main
man.
monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this
That makes absolutely no sense. You're trying to hide something from the camera.
wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, alright, cool. Now, alright. Oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key.
Yeah.
Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
No, she went to the right.
That's why we go through what we go through, right?
Look. Bottom left.
You know? And it's the way that it has to be.
So she goes to the right, she goes to the left,
And,
while still holding.
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you do when you hold down your mouse button? You drag windows.
You're clicking
While
something and
talking,
dragging.
she drags her OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display. We can see her hand move it to the right, and she even looks at her hidden monitor on the right when she does this.
No, she looked at the monitor.
that's why we go through
No. No.
you know?
I didn't even think about
It's the way that it has
OBS.
to
Like
be.
I'm using OBS and I didn't even think about
And,
she looks at the monitor.
She will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see the game.
Why?
Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
Look, bottom left, bottom left.
Move that over. Okay. Sure it's there. Okay. I'm sorry.
She moves
She
her
didn't
mouse
click.
to the left, she looks to the left,
didn't click.
and she even says that she's moving
She
something.
didn't click.
However, we can see on the input display, she doesn't even click her mouse.
Oh, damn. But why does she have a hand track? Why do you have all this set
Now,
up?
despite the
Like,
fact her monitor on
this
the
is why I
right is
feel
supposed to
like
be a secret, she
she's
cannot
doing this all
help
on
but stare at
purpose.
it constantly. She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However, mid-sentence, she realizes how stupid
Chat
this is
got her
and
caught
stops
up.
talking.
Chat got it caught up. Damn. I'm gonna tell you. Oh man, chat would get you caught up. She's looking like she's literally looking at the third monitor. If you look at the top right, she's literally looking at her other monitor. She's not looking forward or anything.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
How did you know that?
After panicking and thinking for 10 seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from
I'm trying to see if that is OBS on her. She said it's like other stuff, but it looks like. It looks like it could be OBS over there, but I don't see like a Twitch chat or anything like that. Unless she has her OBS docked into her, Twitch chat docked into her OBS. I think that's what Carl said.
The monitor on the left.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
Yeah, she knows she messed up. She knows she messed up.
That's the last thing you said. Unedited.
The funny thing about Queen Pwnzalot
That is the telltale for somebody lying. That's lying, and I hate when people do this because it's done to me so much. When somebody lies, they will just kind of repeat the last thing. It was unedited. Yeah. It's like a way to just like to draw like buy time to come up with more lies, and I hate when people do that.
reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place, and it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there. And it also causes her to screw up by responding to it. I'm guessing she just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her fans talking about her as she...
So, as somebody that's trying to come up in streaming and stuff like that, trying to get a following, literally, chat is the most distracting thing ever. It is literally the most distracting thing ever, because as soon as you see something move in your chat box, you're immediately wanting to respond to it because you want to engage with people who are engaging with you. It is literally the most distracting thing, and I understand. It's like, oh my God, somebody actually commented. Yeah. That being a small streamer or, you know, a starting streamer or nobody streamer, it is very difficult to ignore that. If you look at streamers like Asmongold or Moist Critical or anybody like that, they barely pay attention to chat because their chat moves so fast, for one. But they barely pay attention to the chat. They got to the point where they could just pick and discern things, and it's always at a downtime. It's never during anything that they're doing, or like, it's like they're there to do what they're doing
playing.
and not pay attention
So we
to
know
chat
that she has
much.
a monitor to her right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold. She's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight. If you wear them loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap.
And she
between
looks
her
at the
nose
third monitor.
and the blindfold.
She looks at her
The gamer
monitor. Put it
Juzzy
down.
has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he
She
showed
looked
his
at the
two
third
monitors, which
monitor,
he turned
like,
off. He wore
before
a
putting
proper
the blindfold on.
He
It's
used
like,
the
oh,
exact same
yeah.
input display.
Let me see if I can
and
see
he had a
at the
hand
sides or
cam.
something.
With all of
Oh,
this,
man.
he also killed Alatreon in expert fashion.
Did he do it legit though? Juzzy.
Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but despite my short-sightedness without glasses, I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them. And why is that? It's because there's a secret here.
Pro at Apex. Jesus
Right
Christ.
now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides, left and right, in my peripheral vision. Then the next step of the trick is the fact that another thing you guys noticed, there's two monitors here, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a third monitor on my left.
On top of wearing her blindfold,
A lot of people said that in like the subreddits and they get her Discord and stuff like that, of why didn't she just turn the monitor off and play? And yeah, that would have helped out a lot. But I mean, I guess having a third monitor just kills all that. So I guess we see why she didn't turn the monitors off and just opted for covering them.
fold very loosely, Queen Pwnzalot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way. This is to get a better viewing angle.
Nah, not that he's saying that. Look at her scrunching her face up. It's like she's using her cheeks to move the blindfold up so she can see. And she is sitting in a really unnatural position for a gamer. I'm not even going to hold you because we got that hunched over, kind of leaned forward thing, like pose, but she is sitting so far up. That looks uncomfortable.
Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent...
No, they got her. Look at her. She's kind of bent over. Like she's kind of just hunched over.
spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days and weeks, and for that entire time, she always sat like this. She was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could see straight through it and was looking at the monitor directly in front of her. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it, which is why she has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side.
She
This
doesn't
is
even
not a
scrunch her
normal
face
way
in
to
her
sit.
first
And world-class blindfold
in her first
speedrunner
gameplay,
Bubsia
and she
confirms
just
that
keeps
when you
scrunching
see
her
someone
face.
sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
She didn't even
If I
scrunch her
curve
face
up
not
even
once.
more, but that's already looking very sus, I guess. If you sit there like
Yeah, if
neck
you just kind of
breaking.
sit all the way up, it's like,
If
yeah,
I sit
yeah, I
like
know you're
this, for
cheating.
example, I can see half of my monitor. I can see OBS right now. Literally, I can see the volume meters going up.
That is
I can
wild.
see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it. I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was
I
a
would've
hidden
never thought about
monitor,
that. I would've
which
never
some
thought
people
about that.
did, it's an
I
entirely
wouldn't even thought
different
she had a
story
third
to
monitor.
provide concrete evidence. The fact that we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that she stares at it constantly, the fact that she wears her blindfold so loosely, and the fact that she sits in such a weird position, all prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the way she cheated. But here is my favorite part. After she has killed Alatreon, and while paper is still covering her screen, she looks directly at the hidden monitor and moves the camera around perfectly. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. And beyond
Oh
all
my
of this,
God.
the simple fact remains, the way she plays the game is impossible to
Oh
do
my
if
God.
you can't see. Now let's be real for a second. At the end of the day, this entire thing isn't a big deal. This is just silly, fun internet drama, and it's just really interesting to learn how Queen Pwnzalot faked her blindfold runs. Personally, I'm not emotionally charged about this. I just love trying to expose video game fraudsters because I enjoy it. This whole back and forth is honestly really entertaining, but
Exactly. It's just entertainment. Nobody cares. Like, she's going to have a really bad reputation. Like, if she wants to make it as a Monster Hunter speedrunner or a Monster Hunter, like, influencer, she's going to have a really bad reputation. Like I said, all she had to do is really, you have 4,611 kills on Elytrion. Host kill lobbies for people who hasn't done Elytrion. And people will start following you because they're going to wonder what's the next kill lobby that you're going to do. More than likely, Fatalis. So you host Fatalis kill lobbies, and you just kind of do this, and you kind of just build up your reputation. I've seen it done so many times. I'm a mod for a Destiny streamer, Destiny 2 streamer, and the way they started off was just like doing runs of stuff in Destiny. Like, there was no gimmicks or tricks or anything like that. It was like, hey, I'm going to host these runs. That's all you have to do is like really
make
just
no mistake, her
be a
behavior
part of the
is
community,
not healthy,
host runs.
and it's
You
not a good
clearly
thing.
have the skill.
There are gamers who
She clearly has the skill to beat Elytrion. And every Monster Hunter player is almost adequate except for Asmongold. He killed Elytrion once, but that man is just lucky. But just like, she has a skill to actually really fight Elytrion. She can carry a whole team, or just do two people that knows the fight and get two people to get the kill, get them a couple carves, and yeah, to get the next person in. It's so easy.
who spend thousands of hours legitimately trying to do amazing things without the ability to see.
Ocarina of Time
Blindfolded
speedruns are
gaming
dope.
takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of ingenuity. And Queen Pwnzalot keeps taking a giant steaming dump on all of their efforts.
I could not play Dark
because
Souls
of her
blindfolded.
actions, people are going to trust the accomplishments of real gamers even
Or else
less.
that Elden Ring. Dark
Skepticism will
Souls or Elden Ring
disproportionately
might be that
rise, and
blindfolded.
the public will become even more cynical. But on the flip side, maybe that's a good thing. The amount of people who threw common sense to the wayside and took her runs at face value is pretty shocking. Maybe people do need to be a bit more skeptical, and maybe this less
She's going to make it hard for actual speedrunners, because I believe now people are going to go start looking at blindfolded speedrunners just to see their position and nitpick everything. And it's like going to test the the legitimacy of every blindfolded speedrunner. It is so bad that she started like a plague, kind of, sort of. But it's more so she'll definitely, it's definite that you should not take everything at face value. You should definitely question everything, definitely, because if you're not, then you're easily fooled. And no.
Lesson was an important one to learn. Let me know what you think in the comments. I worked with a group of gamers who helped me do
Juzzy,
research
TSC,
for this
Bubsy,
video, including the YouTuber
iTzCheshire,
iTzCheshire, who is also releasing a video about this most recent run. I know for a fact he's including many details I haven't mentioned myself, so if you want to learn even more, please go and check out his video as well. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Right? I mean, like,
Yep. All right. We're gonna probably watch Abby Sauce later. But until then, ladies and gents, it's your boy, and we out.